Welcome back. We're getting so close now. I've deleted the second roller, which was riding on the teeth of the belt. Many advised me against doing that, saying the belt would shred very fast, and thanks for the heads up. So now there's just one tensioner, and with this short belt that's enough. And even though I would like that belt to be even further away from the exhaust flange, I think we'll be okay. We'll find out anyway. Let's time the rotary valve to the crank. Start closing at bottom dead center. Fully open before the exhaust port starts opening. It looks like we might have to cut the valve a little bit. Not quite sure. I thought I had... Well, actually I didn't adjust the valve at all. I just tightened the set screw. There the valve closes fully, and there the port cracks open. Okay, and the piston moves down to bottom dead center, and the valve closes. Nice. I realized the whole timing of the disc now was fairly pointless, because if I move the belt one tooth, then the timing is off again. So we'll just have to time it with the belt. I've timed the rotary valve correctly again, and I've made some temporary timing marks here so that I know how to orient the pulleys in relation to each other when I reassemble. Now I'm going to set the cylinder at top dead center and mark off where I have to mount the ignition trigger wheel. It is adjustable in the Ignitec software, but you need to set a base advance as a setting, and you can change that in software. This isn't very critical, just some degrees before top dead center. Preferably not too much, say 40 degrees, because then your engine will start with 40 degrees of ignition timing before the first point in your ignition map. It's a few days later. Last time was kind of like a shitty day out here. Everything seemed to be going wrong. I did manage to come out on top at the end though. I'll show you. I was feeling kind of bad and got a fever, and then it dawned on me. I had my second COVID vaccine shot the day before that, and so probably a reaction to that stuff. But now we're back. Show you what really went wrong and how I fixed it, and let's keep on. The ignition trigger wheel, you might notice there's more holes in this wheel now than last time you saw it. That's because I fucked up the orientation of this lobe in relation to the timing pulley. It was just a series of fuck-ups, really. This is where I left the garage for the day. But in the evening I was feeling much better, and I went back out here and I turned this little aluminium thing on the lathe. It has a set screw for mounting to the axle and an M6 bolt, which I've ground both sides of as the trigger lobe. And this is much better, because with this thing, the ignition timing was fixed to this pulley. So if I wanted to change the rotary valve timing, that would have meant I had to change the ignition timing to or reprogram it. Now they're independent of each other, which is much better. I should have gone with this design, just like the first design. And in 5 minutes I got all the gaskets I need for my engine. Cheap laser cutter from AliExpress. Neye Master. It says 20 watts, I think that's about 5 in laser diode power. Neye Master 2S. Works perfectly for this. The provided software was really shitty though, so I switched it out for light burn, and I haven't really played much with the settings. The best thing though was the glasses. Yeah. I'll command my other robot to make me an exhaust flange now. Finally, the blade that came with this saw, this cheap saw and the cheap blade, gave in. Gave in quite spectacular too. Shed multiple teeth, grabbed the work. I got a scar, luckily not from the blade. Now it's back to building character. Since last time I've been talking, so decided to start now. I made a temporary exhaust flange and exhaust pipe, a brace for the blower, so that this 3D printed manifold won't take all the force from the belt. I've left this long to utilize it as part of the engine mount. I think we're at the point now where we can take off the blower, mount the gaskets, mount the external transfers, dump valve, which we'll need some piping into the exhaust too. Might skimp on that for a first test. I think we might be close to trying to start it. I can't see why not. Let's go. One thing, we need some nipples in this adapter to get pressure to the pulse line on the carb and the dump valve. I didn't drill to final size all the way through, so the drill bit left kind of a nice seat for these to seal against. Not trusting that entirely, so we're adding some goop here. So close now, and there's something stuck in the blower, it seems. There's a hard stop here. And I was so careful not to get anything in there. I can't really think there is anything in there. I'm just, what's happened? We'll just have to take it off again and inspect. The gears are fine. The bearings seem fine. Like the only thing, it seems like this lobe is too close to the cover. How did that happen? Like, did the bearing shift? And like that, it just doesn't make sense. It's stuck in 2 points, so it's stuck here, and it looks like that lobe is too close, and then it's stuck here, so 90 degrees off. It turned over just fine earlier today. You think that impact wrench I used to tighten the nut on the pulley, you think that could have done something? I did try to hammer the axle inwards, see if tightening that nut pulled the axle, like shifted the axle. Didn't seem to help, and it really shouldn't be possible for it to do that. There's no crud in here either. to retain the same hand to body ratio for the rest of my life, I've bought a better blade for metal cutting. This one worked fine for a long time. When it started shedding teeth, it was really unpleasant grabbing. Yesterday night I went out here and I took that nut off with the impact wrench, and what do you know? It's not stuck anymore. And then I put that nut back on with the impact wrench and still not stuck. What I think happened is that when I tightened the pulley on the shaft here, I slightly shifted this axle. Maybe that nut wasn't really tight. Someone pointed out on Instagram with these helical gears, if you shift one axle axially, the meshing will change, and the meshing of the lobes will also change. That's my theory anyway. I can't find any other reason. Okay, assemble! Still fine. We're good. I've come to my senses and decided to route the dump valve into the exhaust stream after all for testing. That is the plan, but I said I was going to just dump it down for testing. I don't think a cloud of combustible gases is very smart when I'm foreseeing a flamethrower here. Might end in an inferno. Couple together some stuff I've got laying around here. Thank you, Coldy Woody, if you remember a long time ago sending me that box of stuff. I find use for that stuff all the time. Quite the contraption. I've hooked up the pulse line for the carb, the line for the wastegate / blow-off valve. It's just hooked up to this side of the membrane for lowest possible pressure with the spring that's in here. I think that's 0.7 bars. So the pressure from the inside the engine, it's probably lower. That's a good thing. Start low, and we'll hook up this line later and a boost controller. I need to mount the coil, hook up the little bit of this wiring harness I need for now, program the ignition, and I gotta find a way to mount it safely for testing. I think I'll make a simple test stand out of wood, sturdy wood, which I can place outside for flamethrower action and fewer casualties. You see the latest Project Binky episode? Well, inspired by that, I'm ending this video here. Sorry. Just this will take a while, and next time we'll start it. See you next time.